One way to enjoy the holiday is on the water, but the U.S. Coast Guard wants to remind you that it's only fun if you stay safe. Ron Hilliard joins us now on Dobbins Landing, where people have been heading out onto the bay all day. Ron?
Sean, your weather authority has been talking about this beautiful weather, and this weather has been a factor in people getting out on the water with their guests. But just because you know the ins and outs of staying safe doesn't mean that your guests do.
We took our boat out around the point, trying for a few fish. It was just a nice morning.
But part of having a nice day on the water means staying safe and having the proper equipment.
Flares, signaling devices, make sure your horn works. That's always a big thing people forget about.
The U.S. Coast Guard says it's important for boat operators and passengers to be familiar with boating safety.
Being familiar if you had to maybe get the vessel back into the marina or back to the boat launch. Being familiar with how to operate the vessel and where all the safety equipment is on board.
And that could come in handy, for example, if the boat operator has had too much to drink. According to the U.S. Coast Guard, about a third of deadly boating accidents involve boating under the influence.
You're allowed to drink on your vessel, but make sure you have at least a sober operator, making sure you're under the limit, which is 0.08.
And while enjoying a day out on the water, you never know when the information you share with passengers might be needed.
I usually, when I have anybody to come on board that's a guest, and I haven't had them on board before, I always give them a little safety briefing.
The U.S. Coast Guard says on that checklist it's really important to make sure that you have enough life jackets as well as fire extinguishers, flares, and other items. But one of the things that some people might overlook is making sure that you have enough water when you get out there on the water. It's important to stay hydrated, they say, especially if you're going to be drinking. Sean?
Ron Hilliard live on the Bayfront tonight.